Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems.
I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go, and I wanted this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course.
Hello everyone, welcome to this edition of Vour. I'm your host as always, Kendra Dix here. Glad you can join us here on Vour as we talk about Donald Trump and Volodymyr Zelenskyy, both leaders of nations, U.S. and Ukraine, had an Oval Office clash. We'll get to in a minute, but first thing first, join in the conversation using the hashtag Vour here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend. Hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on Vour. On Vour, we get to this. U.S. President Donald Trump sat down with Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelenskyy to talk about diplomatic issues, including minerals that they were supposed to sign like a peace treaty, war treaty. But things turned a little bit upside down, as you won't believe, as you see this.
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems.
I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go, and I wanted this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course.
It's all dressed up today.
That jab set the tone for the day for these two men who share plenty of history, both TV stars before being elected presidents. Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelenskyy was at the center of President Trump's first impeachment. He was accused of asking Zelenskyy to investigate unproven claims of fraud committed by Hunter Biden. It's something Trump referenced at one point today.
Russia. You ever hear of that deal? That was a phony Hunter Biden, Joe Biden scam.
Trump has more recently called Zelenskyy a dictator and falsely accused Ukraine of starting the war with Russia. Against that backdrop, the wartime leader arrived, hoping to persuade Trump to keep supporting his country against Vladimir Putin, perhaps his most critical act yet.
I think that President Trump on our side.
Their meeting very quickly went off the Ukrainian script, devolving into a bitterly chaotic, unprecedented Oval Office encounter, something the White House wanted you to see. Trump sticking up for his country.
I'm not aligned with Putin. I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm aligned with the United States of America and for the good of the world.
And the vice president breaking diplomatic norms by lecturing a world leader in public.
If you are not strong,
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to...
Come once.
Vance is a longtime critic of U.S. engagement in Ukraine, but he set off Zelenskyy.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You
God bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on
position
this
to
question.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly
this.
what
I'm not
You're
dictating.
In the room, reporters overheard White House staff whisper to each other, quote, "This is going to be big."
You're not in a good position.
I
You don't
was
have
in
the cards right now. With us, you start having
not playing
cards.
cards.
But right now, you
I'm
don't.
very
Yeah, you're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're gambling
I'm the
with the
president
lives
in
of
war.
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War
What else-
III.
what are you
You're
speaking about?
gambling with
What are you
World
speaking
War
about?
III. And
You-
what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's
with
back
all
to you.
respect to your
Far
country.
more than a lot of people said
very
they
respect.
should have.
Have you said thank you once? This
a lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
Ukraine's ambassador to the U.S. sat with her head in her hand. The Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, sat stone-faced. The disastrous meeting ended, a planned press conference canceled, and Zelenskyy and his entourage were told to leave the White House. Come back, they were told by the Secretary of State, when you're ready for peace. Trump later left for a weekend in Florida, having said his piece.
This is going to be great television, I will say that.
So Zelenskyy left here without signing an agreement giving the U.S. access to Ukraine's rare earth minerals or any guarantee the U.S. will continue defending his country. That's partly because White House officials say the president felt disrespected by Zelenskyy, especially how he shrugged and rolled his eyes during that Oval Office exchange. Ed O'Keefe, CBS News, the White House.
As you saw right there, Vladimir Zelenskyy and Donald Trump, we thought they was on the same page when they first met each other way back in 2017. Now, 8 years later, things are a little bit different than it was 8 years ago. Donald Trump now has a second administration with new set of people and new set of rules. Donald Trump said himself that the cards are not stacking up for Zelenskyy over this war that's really a war that he's trying to win over Russia. And he needs our help in the U.S. to get things done. But Donald Trump has been trying to be close to Russian President Vladimir Zelenskyy. So the U.S. president is in a combine between Vladimir Zelenskyy that he don't, you can see right down during that clash, he don't like and don't respect, and Vladimir Putin that he do like, which many people are considering Putin as a dictator. So maybe Trump's trying to be that way himself. A lot of people saying that Trump's trying to protect the homeland, protect the front, by them giving Ukraine millions and billions of dollars to help fund them and help support them in this war. So there's a lot going on with that in mind. All right, let's hear what you people had a lot to say. And this goes from people that's outside social media and including people that experts on what's going to happen next.
Meeting, it's about to get real, bruh. I told you they ain't playing no games. Y'all cannot forget how Zelenskyy lied and said he got none of that money, none of that billions, trillions of dollars that was sent to him the last few years, bro. You see, what they trying to do now is create peaceful situations so these people stop playing games, stop committing fraud, and stop lying to everybody, bro. They trying to put everything on an equal playing field, literally, and they just refuse to make things equal. Like, they just want to be above everybody, no matter what. The thing is, regardless of what they do and what they try to prevent, it's still an ultimate outcome that they cannot change. All they can do is extend it. That's it. As I said in my video earlier, Trump is about to meet with King Charles. Trump is literally meeting with all the elite members, bro. I don't know how y'all can't see that. And trying to resolve these problems fairly and equally and safely. Because like I said, at the end of the day, I already know what they're going to do. Right before they have to leave, they gonna flip that switch. And that's why Elon is trying to replace those towers. Anyways, y'all know how to keep it. Y'all be guys. Hey.
This may not be what you think it's gonna be. Here's my response. Go to that closet. You know the one where you have hats hanging that you haven't worn in years. And crafts that you're never going to finish. And clothes that you're holding on to just in case. Clean it out. And then go wherever you have to go. It doesn't matter. Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Walmart, whatever. No judgment. Go get canned goods. Go get bottled water. Get some water straws. Get a bathtub bladder. Get small bills. Get a way to protect yourself. Then find 10, 20 people, whatever you need to create community, and buy a dehydrator. And then 20, 30 people to buy a freeze-dry machine, whatever you need. Start building community. Because having the food that you need is a form of resistance. It's not just protection, it's a form of resistance. Think of it as insurance. This is not us overreacting. This is not us panicking. This is us preparing and talking to each other. Because we cannot rely on our leaders to do the right thing for its citizens. They are making very clear that they plan to be the world's bullies and offer their citizens nothing. There's an insidiousness to what's happening. And if you're paying attention, it has nothing to do with reconciling a budget and everything to do with creating a classist system that ensures that we are desperate and holding our hands out for crumbs. But when we prepare, we are empowered. And the way we are empowered is by creating community. That's just the start. No different than life insurance. And you may wonder why a minister cares about that, because I believe that spirituality is contingent upon how I show up in the world. The last thing you need me to do is be praying for you and your salvation. No, that's religious patriarchy that deflects from the pain and suffering of the world, and I refuse to take my eyes off of it, because that's what they want. They want us to be fearful and paralyzed so we don't move. We're just waiting for their next action, but we can't wait anymore. Beautiful souls. Clean out the closet. Go buy the food. Get the beans and rice. Get the cash. And protect yourself. There's many more ideas floating, but that's my response to that meeting.
Have to go as drastically as it did. Trump and JD Vance did not have to attack Zelenskyy the way they did. It was unfortunate to watch, seriously. First of all, that meeting did not have to go as...
Now, Trump is a man's man. Whether you blue collar or you in the White House, it ain't nothing like a strong man to stand up to another man and protect his family and protect this house. And that's exactly what he did with Zelenskyy today. You don't come in our house. You don't come to my family's country and disrespect me or disrespect us. And let's not talk about JD Vance. They was standing on business. You don't come to a made man like Donald Trump in the dream team and talk to them like they minions. See, you got away with that with Biden. There's a lot of men of America, and men are coming back because that last administration, they wanted men to act like girls. Us real women, especially us MAGA women, we love a man's man. Where the real men at? The man is back, baby. America is back. And Trump just told him like a man tell another man to his face, don't you come up in my house and disrespect me. As a matter of fact, go home. Go home and come back when you ready to talk peace. He little boyed him as he should. And that's what a commander-in-chief looks like.
In the Oval Office today. See, some folks never got told no a day in their lives, and it shows. So, hearing Trump and JD Vance reprimand Zelenskyy and put him in timeout and put him in his place, that was a shocker for some, Zelenskyy especially. You see, the Ukrainian president was so used to Biden, he had no respect for Trump, let alone America. See, Zelenskyy sat in the Oval Office, expecting JD Vance, expecting President Trump to bend at his will and continue doing business with him. And that's just not how things work. Now see, what Zelenskyy failed to realize is that America is in no way obligated to help Ukraine. It's a privilege. Do we want to? Of course. Who wouldn't want to help a war-torn country? I'd say Trump wants to help Ukrainians more than their actual president does. Hence, Trump asking to accept the ceasefire deal and Zelenskyy saying, no way, I'm good. Trump made it abundantly clear he refuses to do business with anyone that's not appreciative, is disrespectful blatantly, and does not have the best interests of their own country. See, it's a privilege that Zelenskyy even got invited into the Oval Office. It's a privilege that he even got to sit down with American leaders. It's a privilege to have received all the weaponry, all the financial support that they've already been given. Like Vice President JD Vance said, the least you could do, Zelenskyy, is say thank you. God bless America.
What was that, America?
What you mean why I'm not wearing a suit? What kind of question was that? The man is in the middle of war right now. You gonna ask the man why he not wearing a suit? And y'all heard how Zelenskyy answered him? Like, yeah, if I want to get a costume after the war, I'll get one like yours. Ooh, shots fired. But nah, on the real, that whole ordeal was freaking childish as hell. And listen, I understand how Zelenskyy feels. Like, yeah, okay, we can have peace today, but what about tomorrow? Because this is the same guy who we had signed a bunch of agreements saying we're going to have peace, and then next thing you know, he's bombing us again. See, like, Vladimir Putin is looking at Zelenskyy like Xerxes was looking at Leonidas from 300. So unlike the cruel Leonidas that asks you to stand, all I ask is that you kneel, for I am kind. Nah, but Zelenskyy, you do kind of got to sign those agreements, at least to have peace for now, my man.
Marco Rubio, ¿estás bien? Because we're all concerned here. The look in your face. This is the precise moment when that idiot reporter asked Zelenskyy, why doesn't he have a suit on? Do you even own a suit? You're in the castle and this is our king. Why didn't you dress up? And I think the reason why Marco Rubio looks the way he does is because he is the Secretary of State. And yet, everybody's talking about this reporter's question. But you know who started it all? JD Vance. He said, have you ever said thank you? But you all need to understand is what follows after that question. Because he said, you went to Philadelphia and you campaigned for Kamala Harris. That's what this is about. Zelenskyy campaigning for Kamala Harris. What we want to know is what's on the table. Why isn't Zelenskyy saying yes? Are we taking his land? Are they just going to cut the country in half, give half to Russia and half to the U.S.? What are we talking about here? Somebody needs to go and check on Rubio because I'm a little concerned. Estoy preocupada. He looks constipated.
In front of two bulldogs, well, three actually, but two, JD Vance and Trump, and the entire media. And Trump and JD Vance just pretty much fires them in front of everybody. Is that how today went? Because that's how I took it. Okay, let me get this all straight on how today went.
Was completely wrong. Completely misplaced. He got it wrong on so many levels. You've got to understand what cards you have to play. The only card Zelenskyy had in this whole entire conversation was around a minerals deal. That was it. Nothing else. Talking about security guarantees in the middle of the Oval Office, when you know that the US president does not want to offer any security guarantees, he's made this clear. He doesn't want boots on the ground. He hasn't committed to any air power. Why put yourself in the position where you are going to be belittled in that room by Vance and Trump? Why do it? What is your message in that meeting to them? You're basically telling them that this is going to come to you too. You're not going to be secure. You've got an ocean between you, but you're not going to be secure. They don't want to be lectured by you on this. So the whole entire body language, messaging, the cards you have to make, it was all in the wrong place. His whole approach to this meeting.
You people had a lot to say, and a lot of you people did not share and hold back nothing. I think Donald Trump and Vladimir Zelenskyy and now JD Vance, and you can tell Secretary of State Marco Rubio all in a combine. Marco Rubio looked like he didn't want to be associated with this, but he's associated now. But he looked like he wanted to have peace, but the peace turned into chaos with Trump, J.D. Vance, and now Vladimir Zelenskyy leaving. Vladimir Zelenskyy felt like he wasn't unwelcome, and he left. And Trump and Zelenskyy and all that having bad relations going forward. So hopefully we can get this settled and we come to agreement on both ends, on Zelenskyy and Trump. Trump was a little bit off the bat, and Zelenskyy was trying to explain, but Trump did not want to hear none of it. So that's how Trump is as a businessman. So we'll look and see how this is going to move forward. Thank you for watching this edition of Viral. I've been your host, Kendrick Dick, saying so long. We'll see you again for another edition of Viral.